You are listening to AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. Two Millennials Talk. I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud. Hello.
Oh, wow. What inspired that there?
Needing to clear my throat?
No. It just sounded like you were trying to join James Brown.
I was hoping that by doing a funny voice it would declog me, but had to get out the old Roto-Rooter first.
Oh, boy.
It happens.
All right. Well, I've got some movie trailers I want to talk about.
Yeah. Actually, I did too. So shoot, darn.
So we're on the same page then.
Darn, for the first time in the show's history.
great minds and something like that.
Well, mediocre minds think.
That's true.
On a median.
Fair enough. Much fair enough. So the Blade Runner trailer.
I've seen it about 8 times now.
Me too.
So good.
It's glorious.
I am so hyped for the new Blade Runner.
I'm there.
Good old 2049. I can't wait.
Like they can take my money now. I'm gonna be there. I
can't believe it comes out this year too. I was surprised when I saw that because I thought for sure it was 2018 it was coming out, and then I saw that it's coming out in October. Like, dude, I'm so hyped.
Which I'm happy about that because, like, if you put out a first trailer like that and then I have to wait a year, I would hate you so much as a studio.
I mean, they've obviously got so much done unless they just filmed those scenes specifically. Like, these are the trailer scenes. We need to film them first.
which is a thing. I remember that that happened after Batman v Superman and it being just controversial as all get out.
Yeah, that was the thing with that. And it was there was some other, I think it was a superhero movie. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, they filmed like a whole like sequence that was just for a trailer. It was like just a promo.
Right.
And then they had to retract it because it had the Twin Towers in it. And then, 9/11 happened. Yeah. That's a real thing. They had this promo in like 99. It's like, look how cool it is. Or no, it was like 2000. It was like October or something, 2000. Yeah, it came out with the thing, and everyone's like, "Oh no!"
that's something that just you couldn't have planned for that. I feel so bad for them.
Well, could you have though, Keon? Could you have planned for that?
They could not have planned for that.
It is Hollywood.
Oh boy, oh boy. They couldn't plan for the moon landing either.
Well, we'll ask Kubrick about that on his beach house in Hawaii. I'll just go ask him. And we'll see.
Go ahead. Bring your proof, sir.
You saw Room 237, right? The thing on Netflix about Stanley Kubrick and all the theories about The Shining?
I have not seen that.
Well, one of them is that, obviously Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing with his, film techniques and everything. But one of the things they posit, the reason why he did it, not the reason why he did it. The reason why he did it is because they got tons of money for him, allegedly. But Danny wears an Apollo 11 sweater like every other child in the 70s, but never mind that. Danny wears an Apollo 11 sweater, and they're like, yeah, he put it in there as an Easter egg about the moon landing being faked.
Okay.
Never mind, like the space race was just like cool. Like every kid ever in the 70s and 80s was into Apollo 11.
Right.
Never mind that.
Like that was culturally, I don't know, I can't even think of another cultural thing like that awesome. I pretty much we just missed it, really.
Well, there's Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, actually, fair enough. Which I will be wearing a Blade Runner shirt for now on until.
Yeah, obviously, a Blade Runner sweater specifically,
because it gets cold out here.
I just realized, unfortunately, it didn't used to. I just realized, like, I have never seen anyone wearing a Blade Runner shirt before. Like, I can't think of, like, I'm sure they make them. I've just never seen them.
This is true. You mentioned that, and I was trying to think. Well, no, I want to be a contrarian, but actually, I can't. I can't think of a single person. No.
Yeah, like a friend of mine has a Weyland-Yutani shirt from Alien. Cyberdyne Systems shirts. I've seen those before from Terminator. Mm-hmm. Never seen like a Tyrell Corporation t-shirt. Actually, yes, I have. I have seen a Tyrell Corporation t-shirt. So you got me. It's the owl logo. Yeah.
Okay. Because that seems like a very obvious shirt to make.
Right? Like, who doesn't want a Tyrell Corporation shirt?
Like, now that you've said it, I feel like we should go find one.
Oh, it's easy on AliExpress, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Get it for $3.
You can get like 20 of them just because.
So what did you take away from the trailer? What are your thoughts so far?
Ryan Gosling looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, the future just looks generally like, now that we have the technology to CGI most of this.
You're right.
Which is taking nothing away from like how the original Blade Runner was made, because I think you were the one that showed me.
Yeah, tons of work.
Yeah, just the level of detail that it took to make that future look realistic on a screen.
I've got a whole book about the special effects of Blade Runner. It's actually a hardcover version of Cinefex number 5, I'm wanting to say, which is a special effects magazine, and it's a ridiculously good read if you're into special effects, which I really am. One of the things they talk about is the opening shot with the the bits of the balls of flame shooting out from like the oil jets or whatever there. Those are actually etchings. Those are metal etchings that they had propped up for a forced perspective type deal. And the Tyrell Corporation headquarters building, the two big pyramids. And by the way, they only built the sides of the pyramids which were visible on camera. So there's like 3 sides total to the building. So it's just kind of a cool thing too. And they had these etchings that were staggered progressively, so it looks like you're way farther away than you actually are. And then the flames shooting up were actually projected onto little tiny screens that were above the thing. And they did some digital correction to remove the outline of the screens and everything, and the obvious delay between like the light flashing and the flame actually happening. So, I could talk about that for 3 hours though.
Yeah, but that's still pretty crazy. I'm not. Yeah. My point is, like, I'm not taking away from how amazing it is to do all of that, but CG gives you the ability to do way more stuff in way less time.
Right, and you don't have to like build a giant neon Atari sign,
basically. So, I thought that it looked. It's weird. It looks new and old at the same time.
They got that down really well. I'm glad that they're using the gun from Blade Runner again, which is actually like 3 or 4 real guns, like snapped together, basically forced to work together, and they cast a resin casting of that. But yeah, it looks like an updated version of the old gun from Blade Runner, which I think is really cool. The spinners look good; they look updated. I was telling my sister about this. Like, I have 0 complaints so far, and that's rare for me.
Yeah, well, you're one of the pickier people when it comes to movies that
especially Blade Runner.
Yeah, because that is your favorite movie.
It is my favorite movie. Yeah.
I guess my other takeaway from it was I'm not entirely clear on what the story is, which I like.
Mm-hmm. I have a good idea, but I don't know for sure because it could be something completely different from what I'm actually thinking that it is. But yeah, like the whole thing that everyone was talking about from before, where like, well, Deckard is obviously a replicant. I don't think so. I never thought so. That's a controversial opinion, by the way. Is like, I really don't think Deckard's a replicant. I think that's a silly takeaway. Even though the director says he is, I think he's wrong.
Which that we could have that whole conversation later too about like authorial intent and like who's actually right and all that stuff. But what was your takeaway from the trailers?
My takeaway from the trailers are mostly plot points. So it would be spoilers for people who haven't seen the first movie, but it's been 1982.
Yeah,
so
it's been long enough.
It's been long enough, man. 20-year limit's been reached 2 times over. But yeah, I think Rachel is dead. I'm pretty sure Rachel's dead. That was my main takeaway. I noticed that immediately. I think Agent K is conflicted about whether or not replicants are real or not, like people or not. And I think the new guy, played by what's his name from Maroon 5 or 30 Seconds to Mars. What's the guy? Jared Leto. Or Leto, whatever it is, that guy, the pretty boy. He's, I think he might be Tyrell in a new body. I'm not sure, because in the original script of Blade Runner, Tyrell, at the end of the movie, they kill Tyrell. Tyrell was going to be a replicant, and then they were going to reveal like his real body is in stasis in the floor above the penthouse. That was going to be a whole big thing. They took it out later, but that was like actually in the script for a while.
Gotcha.
So it could be that he's either a reincarnation or like his son or a replicant and he doesn't know it himself, or who knows. Yeah, so I have a lot of takeaways from Blade Runner. I could talk about that for a while.
Okay, so that's your main one?
My main one, yeah, and I think that it's going to be really good. I think my main takeaway is that I don't feel like I'm going to be disappointed.
Right. Like when you see like the Star Wars trailer and you watch it, and it's not that you look at it and go, oh, that's awful. But you look at it and you're just like, I could see myself potentially getting disappointed here.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling for Blade Runner in any way.
No. And keep in mind, by the way, back in like 97, when they showed the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer, people were really hyped about it. So, like when it comes to Star Wars, I don't go based on trailers anymore.
You fire up the hype machine for Star Wars, and everyone's gonna be there.
I'm legitimately more excited for Battlefront 2 than I am for the actual movie. So, you know, I don't know what that says about the quality of the movie, but I'm actually more hyped for the video game, the sequel to the video game I don't even own.
Yeah, I mean, it just what that says about the quality of the movie is that it just doesn't stand out much. It's not bad. It's just not.
But they may be understating it on purpose too, to sort of get the hype sort of low. They want underkey, you know, low key hype. So then when you go to see the movie, you're like, oh, well, this is really good. Which
is, I think, a good strategy, especially when it comes to a property that has as much history and sort of connection with the audience as Star Wars. Yeah. Like, nothing that you put out is going to live up to anybody's expectations if you build this as the biggest, baddest thing ever, right? Yeah. Like, that's, if you do that with a new idea, then go for it. Yeah. But Star Wars has too much history for you to say this is better than the Star Wars you grew up with. Like,
you can't do that.
If you do that, you had better be right. Like, it really ought to be better.
Well, plus I grew up with Star Wars, and like, you know, we've had this conversation before. You didn't really grow up with Star Wars, and I did. But like, if you tell me it's better than the Star Wars I grew up with, you dang well better be right, because I grew up with Star Wars. You know? And if you're wrong, I'll kill you. Whoever, you know, Kathleen Kennedy, whoever's running the franchise right now.
which that, and I feel like that's part of the reason why some people didn't like The Force Awakens, where like it feels like it rubbed you the wrong way, because it's like, and spoilers for the movie, they kill Han Solo, so it's just here's
who didn't see that coming, right?
Here's some part of your childhood that you liked, and we made Han Solo kind of a pathetic dad, and then we killed him.
He dies in a really stupid way. And there's a comic that kills him in a much better way.
Which is...
Okay, so there's like Star Wars Elseworlds things. It's called Star Wars Legends, and it's actually really good. And one of them is Han Solo crashes on Earth by accident. Like, his hyperdrive freaks out and puts him on Earth. Like, because it's a long time ago, it's like 2,000 years in the past on Earth. So he crashes on, I think it's South America, and like natives find him, and what's his name? The Wookiee. Chewbacca. The Wookiee. Chewbacca is,
which I would watch that movie, by the way.
Right. Chewbacca is like sort of like a Bigfoot type deal in South America for a little while. It's most of this is implied, but they find his skeleton, and they find the skeleton of Han Solo in the Death Star, or the Millennium Falcon. But the person who discovers him is Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's great!
It's really good.
Perfect. That's absolutely perfect in every single way.
It's really awesome, because you have like the ship, and he's like, "This looks like an old structure." And then it's, you know, you have Indiana Jones looking at the corpse of Han Solo. It's really weird, but it's really cool too.
Yeah, no, I prefer that.
It's very well done. I mean, it's kind of dumb, but it's very well done in the comic, because it doesn't overstate it. It's just like, we know it's silly kind of thing. But it's well done.
Yeah, okay, I'm cool with that.
Like, I would prefer if they did that in the movie with the whole Indiana Jones thing and the way they did it in The Force Awakens. I was just so, I don't know. Like, I'm negative about the Force Awakens. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I really didn't like how they did Han Solo. And you know, Harrison Ford did not even want to be in that movie. I mean, he's pretty open about it.
Yeah, but if they throw enough money at you, you're there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has been on the record saying like he does not want to do any more Pirates movies. They keep backing up the truck into his front yard and going, "Is this enough money? Could we bring you more money?" And then he's there. He's there again doing this movie. I feel so bad for him, but then I don't, because he's making money. But man,
you know, he just wants to go back to playing like Hunter S. Thompson and having fun.
Yeah. Like, playing Jack Sparrow is not entertaining for him anymore.
Yeah, you know, probably the first 2 times it was, but after a while,
it's just barely entertaining to watch him now as a member of the audience.
And I really like, you know, the funny thing is, and I'll say this just sort of a side thing, I really liked the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I still like it. It's one of the only Disney movies I like.
It's a great movie.
It's really good. But then the third one, it just goes immediately downhill, and I've not seen anyone after the third one.
The second one begins the descent, but it's still like you can watch it and enjoy it.
But you know, it's the highest grossing franchise of all time,
which is why they have to keep making them.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The new one does look good though.
It does. It looks super interesting. I like with.
I mean, it's got Javier Bardem. You can't go wrong.
Which that is part of it.
Yeah.
That man cannot lose.
It's basically No Country for Old Pirates.
For all pirates. It's pirate. It's like the perfect pirate western that we've always wanted.
No Ocean for Old Pirates. Oh, I would watch that if they did know, like with Llewellyn being a day sailor and he stumbles across like a drug shipment. That would be great. Actually, I would watch the heck out of that.
I would absolutely.
Yeah, and then you have pirate, whatever his name is in the movie. I always forget his name. It's a weird name.
I don't remember it either.
I like if you asked me before the show, I could tell you, but because I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of it.
But the Jack Sparrow character was really good in those first two movies, and then for some reason. Not for some reason, he's like a character favorite. They just decided, let's expand it. Let's just make it all Johnny Depp. And that made him less interesting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Johnny Depp show.
Yeah. You can't do that. Just because fans like somebody doesn't mean that they should take over the franchise.
Really?
You think that would be obvious, but like my example is a show that I haven't watched in years, but like my friends talk to me about it all the time, The Walking Dead. Where everybody loves Daryl in the show.
Yeah, I like Daryl. He's cool.
But all the episodes where it's just Daryl, they're not interesting. Like,
I haven't seen that far. I've only seen 3 seasons in. I gave up.
He's cool, but like, yeah, I've only seen 3 seasons into. Like, I can't really tell you anything. But like, he's a cool character, but like, I can't imagine that character on his own. Just
oh gosh.
Which I do remember one episode that they did do in season 3 where he's just like by himself and like he has like weird flashbacks to his brother for some reason.
Oh yeah,
and it was a weak episode. The cool Daryl moments are when he's in contrast to everybody else.
Maybe like the loner character who's kind of mysterious shouldn't have his own episode. Isn't that kind of weird?
Right.
Weird thought.
He's then not mysterious.
Like neither of us, like thinking about like neither of us could really do Two Millennials Talk on our own, mostly because of the naming thing. But also because we just don't like I couldn't do this without banter. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, like the riffing is what makes this entire show
right. So
riffs, and then you basically just got me talking about sports some more. Yeah, like, there's nothing to rein me in.
Yeah, but it's like, what if people are like, man, we like Keon a lot? It's like, okay, cool. Keon's gonna do his own episode.
Two Millennials Talk. I'm telling you, folks, it'd be a horrible episode of that show.
And it goes both ways. It'd be awful with me too.
Because it would just be the news.
Yeah, it'd just be in like, entertainment news today.
Yeah, I would just be like having a bunch of ideas and topics that I would compare to sports, which would just be the reverse of my actual show, in which I compare sports to actual life. So like I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this.
Oh, by the way,
another person.
We were talking about that the guy from Louisiana. How many drinks does that guy drink?
Oh, Ed Orgeron, the head coach of LSU.
It's ridiculous.
Drinks 8 to 10 energy drinks a day.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
8 to 10 energy drinks a day. I'll tell you a story briefly. I went on a trip to a thing called the Biblical Worldview Student Conference, which is in, I think, Kingsport, Tennessee, or Elizabethton, somewhere up there, Tri-Cities area, Tennessee. And it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. I drank 2 of the Monster Energy drinks where they had the twist off like toxic waste cap.
Basically,
I drank 2 of those on the drive up there, and I couldn't drive yet. I was like 14 on drive up there, and like it was like in Star Wars or Star Trek when they go into like warp speed and like the stars bend and that was it. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, that'll do it.
It made a 4 hour trip into like a 10 hour trip in my mind. I was like, this is awful. I shouldn't have done that. And you got the heart going.
There was a point here at the station where I was working at like Amazon also.
Oh.
And I was also going to school. So I was constantly caffeinated. And I remember one day I had an energy drink, and then you also brought me a cup of coffee, and I drank that too. And I woke up in 2049. Like I just woke up in the future. No one should ever drink that much caffeine, ever.
No, it's a terrible idea.
It's an awful idea. It's easily the worst idea you could have.
And I have a really high tolerance, by the way. That would kill me.
Yeah. Like Ed Orgeron is drinking enough coffee to kill most men.
Yeah. Like you did the math. What was it, like 2 grams or something like that?
Yeah. And the Mayo Clinic says that you should only drink around at max, by the way. They're not recommending you do this, just right. At max around 400 milligrams.
Right, that's a thousandth of a gram.
And he's easily drinking 2, almost 3 grams.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Like you can't survive that way. And
yeah, I was saying like if that was Coke, he'd be dead.
Yes.
He'd just be gone.
He just evaporates.
Like, dude.
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. And I'm worried because Ed Orgeron is my favorite college football coach.
Okay.
just because he's funny and
for
interesting.
The Louisiana Gators, the Louisiana Shrimp.
his accent is great.
Yeah,
like he's just fun. Like there's nothing about him that I don't like. He's got a ton of personality when most coaches will give you just cliches and stuff.
Yeah,
Ed Orgeron is making things up to say, and you're just like, I didn't know that you could word things that way. And I don't want him to die, so he needs to lay off.
No, he's the coach of the Saints, right?
He's the coach of the LSU Tigers.
Oh, it was college. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. LSU is the school my dad would have gone to.
Had he gone to school in Louisiana?
He went to trade school. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Worked out better for him, actually. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure as well. I've heard things about the academic standards of LSU.
Oh, it was worse.
That school is designed for football.
Well, imagine that, but in the 70s. My dad was saying back in his high school, I won't say which one because it's probably still this way. There were like stabbings, like that was a weekly thing. Is some kid would get stabbed.
Okay, cool.
Because it was it's a poorer area, and you have casinos and low lifes and all that kind of thing, and
yeah,
but right on the border of Texas too, so it really doesn't help any.
Not at all. But man, like the idea of like, I'm going to go to a school and it's supposed to be a university and you're supposed to be gaining an education and feel really, really good about yourself. But once a week, someone gets stabbed there.
Yeah, no.
I'm cool. I don't need that.
Well, one of my friends is going there for like computer engineering or something like that. And he's doing pretty well, actually. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that from the 70s to now.
Well, computer engineering was not a thing in
so there's that too.
You couldn't get a degree in that. You get a degree in math, and then you'd learn computers.
You learn computers. That's true.
Yeah.
You teach yourself the rest of it.
Right. Like computers were like, now here we have the Altair. Flip these switches for binary commands. You can make the lights blink.
Like your textbook was the manual of this massive IBM machine, essentially.
It had tape drives that would spin. I've seen those things in person, by the way. They're horrifying. It's like if it fell over, it would kill you.
I've only ever seen them on TV, and that's the only place I ever want to see them.
They had some at UTC for a while, and my dad worked there. I got to see them. They're monstrous, horrible things.
I'm sure.
Like imagine a computer where the weight of it could kill you. And that's just one component of it.
That's just one part.
And there's a whole room just stuffed full of these things.
Oh, no, thank you. There was a kid though, speaking of caffeine, in my high school that drank two of the when Monster had the BFC, the big flipping can.
Oh yeah. That's the one I drank two of actually.
Oh yeah, he passed out.
How many did you drink?
He drank two.
Oh,
he drank two. They're 40 ounces.
Yeah, they're really big.
So he drank 80 ounces, and I think he did it in like the span of like an hour and a half.
Which is I don't know, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, and it's a good thing he didn't die because that almost happened too. He just passed out, and we were like, "Well, time to. Can someone call 911? Because he's not waking up.
His heart beats so fast that it stopped beating.
He just flatlined."
If you've never had, by the way, the Monster Energy drinks, it tastes like if you take lime Jolly Ranchers and melt them down, and then add caffeine. That's basically what it tastes like. Not very good.
No, not at all. It tastes awful. And kind of all energy drinks taste that way.
Yeah, they're really like Red Bull's okay though. It's not bad.
Which is why that's the one that I usually drink if I do drink them, because I can survive it.
I like being given wings.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Actually won a class action lawsuit because they didn't give me wings. So
you told me about that.
Yeah. You're listening to Two Millennials Talk on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. Next.
Right.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
iBuyChattanoogaHouses.com, Chattanooga's premier house buyer. Do you have a house you need to sell fast? We are buying. Call us today. We are local folks. We will buy your house as is, no repairs needed. We will give you a cash offer and close on the day of your choice. Call us right now, 423-834-7321. Need to sell a house fast? We are buying. Are you experiencing one of these situations? Inherited a house you have no need for? Behind on your property taxes? Nightmare tenants making your life miserable? Too many repairs needed and don't have a desire to fix. Behind on payments and facing foreclosure. Recently divorced and need a way out of the house. Never really wanted to be a landlord and just want to cash out. Trying to relocate and need to sell your house? Do you need to sell a house fast? We are buying. No fees, no hassles, no repair costs. Close on the day of your choice. Our process is simple. Call us today. We inspect your property right away. We make you a fair cash offer. We close on the day of your choice. Call us today, 423-834-7321. Visit our website, ibuychattanooga.com. Call us today, 423-834-7321. ibuychattanooga.com.
Need windows? Hey folks, do you need new windows? Good news. Window Depot of Chattanooga has a great special going on right now. 10 high-quality, energy-efficient double-hung vinyl windows installed for only $29.90. That's right, 10 double-hung vinyl windows, only $2,990. And yes, they qualify for the TVA rebates. Call 894-0011. Window Depot of Chattanooga today, located at 5950 Shalford Road. Call 894-0011 today.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM's news now.
A woman involved in a crash on Tuesday has been charged with vehicular homicide and DUI after deputies say neither of her children inside of her Kia were wearing seatbelts when she smashed into a Nissan traveling southbound. 2 children were ejected from the car during the crash. One of them died, the other one airlifted to the hospital. A 7-year-old was also airlifted to the hospital with a fractured skull. As yet unnamed benefactors have added funds for the inclusion of In God We Trust decals on the Sheriff's Office cruisers in Bradley County. Red Bank Chief of Police Tim Crystal was let go over personnel issues by City Manager Randall Smith. The previous police chief in Red Bank was fired too back in 2010. A woman was robbed outside of a dialysis clinic. The woman says the man demanded $40 from her. When she said she didn't have any money, he then took her phone and lifted his shirt to reveal a handgun in his waistband. She then gave him the money and drove him to a motel and then drove back to work. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News, now.
Becoming partly sunny out there through your afternoon. Quite warm again. Highs mid and upper 80s. Tonight, lows only 62 to 65. For Friday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly for the afternoon, evening. They could be strong. Highs upper 70s with drier and pleasant weather for the weekend. Chattanooga's best kept secret is at Boyd Speedway. Come see the UCRA Crate Alliance late model race this Saturday night with a big purse for the winner. For tickets and more, BoydSpeedway.net or Boyd Speedway on Facebook. And I'm Source 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare on Nooga Radio AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Wow, I feel good.
So up next for you, we have the Dunkirk trailer.
We're going to play it for you.
Right.
Listen to this trailer.
Listen closely, folks. Let me grab my phone.
Just play that right in the microphone.
Great audio quality, especially when we make this a podcast.
320 kilobits per second. Uncompressed audio.
There you go.
FLAC file of this podcast.
Are we the FLAC of podcasts?
I think we're the FLAC of podcast. We might be the OGG of podcasts, though.
That's true.
Vorbis. I'm just watching the 3 letters fly over your head.
Well, OGG, I know.
Okay. Vorbis is just like the way they encode it. There's Vorbis and there's Theora. There's a bunch of it. I'm not actually too hip on that, to be quite honest with you. I don't use OGG that much, so.
The only place I've ever seen it is when I was in high school, I would just rip things off of DVDs just to do it.
Oh, yeah.
and the audio was usually OGG.
Yeah, it would be because it's an open standard. So it's lighter than WAVE, and you don't have to pay royalties like you do with MP3. So it's just easier.
Fair enough.
I don't think anyone pays royalties for MP3s anymore, but you used to have to.
But yes.
It's like, oh, you're putting out an MP3, huh? Pay us royalties.
Cha-ching!
We're the motion pictures expert group. Pay us your money.
Man.
MPEG 1 was video. MPEG 2 was video. MPEG 3 is audio.
Right. Because that makes so much sense. Yeah, right.
Actually, MPEG-4 is audio and video. If you want to be, stingy about it,
I suppose.
It's like, well, actually, it's got video and audio in it.
There's still something about that progression that makes no sense, though.
Well, the weird thing is there's MPEG-1 audio as well, so extra confusion.
Yeah, let's not make this easy for anybody to grasp in any particular kind of way.
It's like Windows. They got WMA audio files, then there's like WMV video files, and then there's WAV audio. And then there's like Wave 16 and there's Wave 8. It's like, come on.
No, Windows just made up a bunch of stuff. And they did so, I imagine, to be obtuse, because I can't imagine any particular benefit.
And don't get me started on .rm, Real Media, Real Player.
That there.
Remember Real Player?
The bane of my high school life, basically. Because you download something, or you'd like torrent something and you'd be excited to watch it, and then it would be in Real Player. And it wouldn't play on anything else.
No, nothing. Like, oh, I have a Mac.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this crap?
Too bad.
Right.
VLC hasn't been invented yet. You're screwed.
Oh, man.
Oh, geez.
And it happened all the time.
Yeah, like that was a reoccurring thing.
So I'd have to use like the crappy compact Presario in my house. And broke down and got the Real Media video player.
Yeah.
And of course, and that's garbage, by the way.
Yeah,
as video players go, that is easily the worst one I've used in my whole life.
And it crashed all the dang time.
Frequently.
Horrible.
And not just because the computer I was on, because every other thing that I managed to watch on that computer managed to not crash.
Mm-hmm.
Just Real Media.
Somehow your commercial product is worse than Windows Media Player. How did you manage that?
You had to try. You really had to try. Like, put in actual effort. Like, we're going to design something here.
Yeah, they're trolling.
So unusable.
I'd say iTunes was pretty unusable for a while there, though.
Early iTunes was off. I can't even really put into words how bad, but but you were trapped with it because you had an iPod. There's no other way to get the music onto the iPod.
Au contraire, my friend. I had Ubuntu, and we just used Rhythmbox.
Fair enough.
Built in, buddy.
Well, I didn't have Ubuntu. I had a Mac.
I had a Mac for a while. It was an iMac G4, the lampshade Macs,
which is my favorite design.
They're really good. I have like 5 of them for some reason. They all have Linux on them now, but they didn't at the time. And I had an iPod. I was like, man, I wish this worked on Linux. And I just looked it up, and it's like, oh, it actually does. So plug and play.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Like, early iTunes, though, was just the worst.
Oh, you want to get worse? Before iTunes, there was QuickTime. Early QuickTime was great. Late 90s QuickTime was pretty dang bad, because they started experimenting with that, like, internet connectivity. You want to stream some music from Blumchen? You want to hear Rammstein's latest album?
And that's true. I remember when that started happening.
Yeah.
Also, in the 2010s, I don't know what caused it, and maybe someone can tell us, but like, QuickTime became unusable with like every other file type.
It did.
And I don't think they did it on purpose. It just happened.
Well, because Apple stopped supporting it. Like, Apple stopped updating it.
Gotcha.
And QuickTime's gotten a lot better now, by the way. QuickTime like merged a lot of its assets with like Final Cut, because Apple bought Final Cut. So now it works pretty dang well. So.
Because we had, I went to Southern Adventist University for a little bit. And
I'm sorry.
So they have Macs everywhere.
Good AV department at Southern, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic.
I have a friend who goes there.
Great teachers. I have nothing bad to say about it. Except teachers love to use freaking QuickTime all the time, and I don't know why. I have no idea why.
I guess because it comes on the Mac. But like I don't want to be a VLC apologist, but VLC is pretty great. Just use VLC, man.
Just use it. It's free.
It works on everything.
And we're in the media department of the school. We don't have to use what they gave us.
Yeah, just like
I don't understand what's happening here.
Oh, by the way, VLC is looking at the Video LAN project. I should be more specific. The Video LAN project is working on a nonlinear video editor that's open source and free. So I'm pretty hyped about that, because so far in Linux, video editors are kind of crap. You can't really get many good ones.
Yeah, I had I had one that I tried to use the other week.
Uh-oh.
My computer died.
Was it just Kdenlive or OpenShot?
OpenShot.
Sorry.
And it's just like, hey, what resources were you using on your computer? Well, I'm using all of it now.
Yeah, it's a resource hog.
My computer just shut down. Apparently 4 gigs of RAM is not enough.
No, KDN Live will work pretty well though. Let's try that one out sometime.
Okay.
It's KDE Live. I don't know how you pronounce the dang thing. I just call it KDN Live because no one knows how to pronounce anything with Linux stuff anway.
Right, that's true.
They
Because
just
none
make
of us
stuff
ever, I think we talked about this last week, but none of us ever had to say it out loud.
They just make stuff up.
So like when you have to say it, you're like, how do you say that? Has anyone ever said this out loud?
Well,
Did the people who made it ever have to say it out loud?
Well, I know Richard Stallman calls GNU GNU because it's named after the animal.
Gotcha.
And you know what GNU stands for?
What does it stand for?
GNU's not Unix. It's a self-recurring acronym.
Like wine.
Wine is not an emulator. That's what it stands for.
Which is confusing to me because in my mind, it's constantly zooming in and it's just repeating itself over and over and over again. And I can't make my brain stop when I think about it.
It's like that GIF of Pepe where it's him posting himself and it just keeps
constantly.
Oh, they killed Pepe, by the way. Did you see that?
I did not see them kill Pepe.
Matt Fury he's the guy who made Boys Club, which is a really funny comic. He killed Pepe in the comic. Like canonically, Pepe's now dead. And guess what? They talked about it on CNN.
That is possibly the most out of touch story that they've ever covered. Like they're out of their depth. They're out of the league there on that one.
They're like that Hall & Oates song, Out of Touch. Just play that on loop in their studios.
Great song, by the way.
I love that song.
No, like that's not something that they need to cover, but like they don't understand the usage of like Pepe dying in Boys Club canonically is not going to stop the use of Pepe.
Well, it's Matt Fury's way of washing his hands of the whole thing. You know, it's like he's Pontius Pilate with
yeah, right.
Do with him what you will. I wash my hands.
I'm gonna give you back Barabbas. I don't know what to do here.
His blood be on your hands. Okay, I'm not going that far with that. The Dunkirk trailer.
Yes.
Looks really good.
Looks really, really good. I'm excited about it.
So how familiar are you with Dunkirk? Like the event? I
am vaguely familiar.
It's really interesting. You should read about it sometime. The evacuation at Dunkirk is where the British, the United Kingdom, sent and commissioned by the Crown a ton of shipping vessels, like shipping vessels and fishing ships, which is kind of weird to say, to pick up the soldiers who were stranded at Dunkirk on the shore of northern France, because the Germans had extended their line from Germany. They passed the Maginot Line already, so they're well past where they were expected to make it. But the problem is, and there's some people tell you different things, but the problem is they ran out of supplies. Their supply lines are like, we can't go that far. So they're kind of stuck at Dunkirk. The tanks can't go any further. The infantry knows they don't have enough numbers to actually defeat the people at Dunkirk because they just turn and shoot them. So they're kind of stuck here. They don't have the armor to back them up, but they can't go in with infantry, and the Luftwaffe can't go that far out without having to refuel because it's World War II. They didn't have like jets or anything yet. So, and this is early World War II as well. This is like the first year of the war. So kind of a problem here. So that's basically that's the setup for Dunkirk. It's really very, very interesting. And I wonder if, and this is sort of an odd historical thing, but I wonder if they're going to have a bunch of French troops on the shore too, because at Dunkirk, they evacuated a ton of French soldiers as well. And they trained them up and they got them ready to go back and fight the Vichy government in France. It's really interesting stuff. But I wonder how much they'll get into that, or if it's just going to be just the evacuation.
It's hard to tell, but it looks like it might just be the evacuation. From what I've heard, there's really going to be 3 like major storylines.
Okay. Tom Hardy, I hope, is one of them.
He is one. Yes.
Yes. Finally,
he is one. It's going to follow him, and it's going to follow one of the infantrymen on the beach,
played by Harry Styles, I believe.
Yes.
And looks like the guy who's in all the Nolan movies.
Basically.
What's the guy, the Irish guy? He played the Scarecrow in The Dark Knight.
I wish I knew his name right now.
I know his name all the time, but not right now.
Yes. But yeah, he is in the movie as well. And I believe one of the ship captains that's coming to Dunkirk.
The guy played by the guy who plays Wallander.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I sort of, this is why I sort of have gone out of my way to like learn the names of actors and actresses so that I don't say, oh, he's the guy that played the guy. Because I remember one time when Breaking Bad had its first season, And Bryan Cranston wasn't a household name just yet.
Right.
And the only way that you could describe Bryan Cranston if you didn't know his name was the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. And I always felt like an idiot doing that.
Yeah.
Because he's an individual guy with his own like personality. But no, to me, you'll always be the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
I've gotten to the point where I just call them by the actors' names, like Qui-Gon Jinn. He's just always Qui-Gon Jinn. Like, Qui-Gon Jinn's in this movie. Huh.
Like he's never anything else.
For the life of me, I can't remember the guy's real name. And he's a great actor. I just can't remember his real name.
I don't know why.
The guy from Schindler's List, Qui-Gon Jinn. Really good actor, that Qui-Gon Jinn.
He's brilliant, I hear.
He's amazing.
Oscar nominated
Qui-Gon Jinn. Oscar nominated Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh man. Besides,
I still haven't seen Trainspotting 2, by the way. They did like a limited run, and it played in Atlanta. That's the only place ever in the South it played.
Yeah, that made me mad.
I'm so ticked about that because I like all these people are like, oh, Trainspotting 2 was so good. It got such good reviews. I can't see it. There's nowhere to watch it.
I was pretty upset about that because I was ready. I was like, okay, maybe they'll at least have it downtown Chat.
No.
I
thought the Tivoli or Majestic 12 or something. No.
Like I could understand not having it like here in Hickson or having it in Cleveland.
Well, yeah, that'd be silly.
But come on, man.
Like I get the whole limited run thing, but do you have to be that limited?
It was incredibly limited. Also, like it was in Atlanta and it was in Atlanta for like 2 weeks. It wasn't even there for very long for me to go, okay, well, maybe I've got like a month and a half to figure out how I'm going to get down to Atlanta. Like when I'm going to find the time to drive 2 hours to watch a movie and then drive 2 hours back. Nope, didn't even have that option.
The movie came out second week of March. I've still not seen it. And it's a movie I want to see.
Yes, like the money is already aside for that movie.
I am fully prepared to pay for this movie.
When it happens near me, I will go.
Yeah.
Not there.
I don't think it's even out like on Blu-ray or DVD or anything either.
I don't think so.
Which ticks me off because like, when is it going to come out on anything ever?
I suppose we'll have an announcement eventually, but I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me. Alien Covenant comes out, I believe, next week.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost track of the time on that one.
It's like May 17th. So yeah. I'm hyped.
Yes.
I'm so hyped from Alien Covenant. It looks so good.
I'm down with the get down.
I got to get down to get up. Or got to get up to get down. Good beer. It's gosh, man. I'm just so hyped for it because it connects Prometheus and Alien, and Aliens connect to Blade Runner. So like in the span of 1 year, I get 2 movies from my favorite universities. It's great.
Yeah. I'm pretty.
You got flies flying around.
Yeah, flying around the mic.
We got Lord of the Flies, Keon Rose.
Apparently, that's I breathe forth flies.
Beelzebub in here.
Oh man.
Jeez, man.
Also about the Dunkirk trailer. What I'm looking forward to, because I feel like people who have criticized Christopher Nolan, because I think he's a really great director with not a ton to criticize.
I agree.
But if there is a criticism of him, it's that like a lot of his movies, especially lately, just have way too much talking in them. But then like when you look at what the movies are, they're like these massive ideas that like you need to explain things in Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to just be confused for the entirety of that movie, or like you need to explain things in Inception.
Yeah.
Or else it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like there's so much exposition that like you just can't wait to just get to the part where stuff happens.
Well, half of Following was the guy walking around and talking.
Yeah, that's true. But like, even if there's going to be exposition, like have it in a place where like it matters. Like Memento is a movie like you're learning with the guy what's happening, and even then like he's not exactly a reliable narrator either.
Right, that's kind of the fun of it.
So, but like the talking is like that's the movie. It doesn't have to be the movie, I don't think, in Interstellar, or have to be the movie in Inception. But I still love those movies regardless. Inception is my second favorite movie just ever. So, you know, like I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying with Dunkirk, because this is based on a historical event and because the context is World War II, which we are at least already aware of. Like you don't have to explain the war to us.
Well, you might have to explain Dunkirk though, is the thing. You
might have to explain it, but I feel like that gives you, over the length of the movie, you have ample time to explain the movie with visuals, with actual movie.
Yeah,
you wouldn't need someone to sit around and just talk about Dunkirk
There's going to be like a scene where where Wallander talks to Harry Styles, and he's like, "Well, the Germans surround you because you see, in the first stretch of World War II, the Germans overextended their supply lines. The Luftwaffe couldn't refuel." That's going to be the first 30 minutes.
It's just a voiceover.
The first 30 minutes of Dunkirk is just going to be really long historical explanation with like stock footage of Hitler riding around in a car and like yelling at people, him dancing.
Oh man,
Eva Braun laughing for some reason.
Though the video of Hitler dancing is easily the weirdest thing that you will ever find. Also the funniest thing that you will ever find.
It's pretty good.
Like it humanizes him in a way that like almost makes you upset because you feel like he doesn't deserve it.
Right.
But also,
no, I think that's the scariest thing about him is that he was human, you know?
Well, I say this all the time because I am at the age now, being 20 years old, that
now hold on, you're not younger than me.
What? That I have enough friends that are like married and stuff, and I have enough friends that aren't, and I have friends that like have not had like great relationship times, and so like they're like, well, this is probably never going to happen for me, and I always tell them, even Hitler had a wife. Think about that. Somebody loved that man.
Lots of people loved Hitler, though.
Like as a friend, as a
leader.
but the leadership part aside.
Okay.
And the orator of Hitler aside.
Now hold on a sec, Keon. Is your advice be more like Hitler?
That is not my advice.
Get yourself a girlfriend. Be more like Hitler.
Be more like Hitler. Get married.
Hitler didn't get married until like the last 5 minutes of his life.
I don't know what to tell you about that one.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you it happened.
He had like a live-in girlfriend for like the extent of the war.
Well, and then that's the reason why you should stop living in with your girlfriend.
Fair enough. Get married.
So you can stop being like Hitler.
Hitler was only married for a short portion of the very last portion of his life, actually.
Like the if you could identify that as the briefest of moments of the last portion of his life.
I think it was like Himmler who officiated it. No, it was his doctor, I think, who officiated it. I don't remember. It's been too long. I just read about Nazi bunkers not too long ago and like how Hitler killed himself. And no, I listened to a podcast. I listened to the Stuff They Don't Want You to Know podcast, which is very good. I listened to the Stuff They Don't Want You to Know podcast about like have they ever actually found Hitler's body, and the answer is no. No.
Well,
so there's that.
That's an interesting.
Like they've never definitively, like absolutely found Hitler's body, as far as I'm aware. Supposedly, in the KGB, now FSB Kremlin archives, they have like his jawbone or something, but his body was intermingled with a lot of other dead, Germans and Nazis and non-Nazis that were put in a mass grave by the Soviets, who are, not so good at keeping track of who they were killing.
Like either not so good or just not caring enough to like differentiate between.
Who we are killing and raping? Who knows? He's Hitler? He's not. It doesn't matter.
Oh man,
where should we pillage next, Igor?
like we've just already moved on, and the mass grave does not help. Like
no,
you were never going to find.
Yeah.
Everybody just get in here. Hey, get them all in there. Get in there.
And it's funny, because like I won't go there. Comparisons can be made. I'm just saying, comparisons can be made.
That's my favorite thing whenever I'm listening to the radios when someone goes, "It's funny." Well, I don't have to. Like I don't have to go down that path.
Yeah, we won't go there.
But no, I was talking about it on the sports show earlier.
About Hitler?
Not about Hitler, but about how like dangerous just radio is as a job.
Oh yeah.
Look, more flies. Radio is as a job. Because like the next thing that you say in front of a microphone could be the last meaningful thing that you say in front of a microphone. So like you always have to check yourself sometimes, and you start to say something, you're like, actually, let me not go there.
So it's a coin toss for me between Hitler joke and 9/11 joke, is what you're saying.
Look, I'm just saying, if there's a coin toss, maybe don't flip the coin.
Shoot, man. Well, then he'll just kill me, though. Again, No Country for Old Men. I've seen this movie. He'll just kill me.
He'll just kill you. That's true.
He killed Llewellyn's wife. He'll kill me.
But he left that gas station guy alone.
Well, because he won the coin toss.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that movie is fantastic.
That's a really, really amazing movie.
I watched it last summer.
I watched it 2 days ago.
I just, man.
If you haven't seen No Country for Old Men, you must watch it.
You're missing out.
It really is one of the best movies of the 2000s by far. Fun fact about No Country for Old Men, they had to suspend filming for like a few days because right a few miles away, There Will Be Blood was filming. And their oil rig explosion happened. And the smoke from it went all over the outdoor set of No Country for Old Men. So they had to hang up filming. They're like, okay, go inside for a bit. We're going to wait. And the smoke didn't dissipate for like 3 days. So fun fact. And they both were Oscar nominated.
Which at least you have that, right? Like if a crap movie ruins your filming, like the only movie that feels acceptable for ruining your filming is, oh no, that's There Will Be Blood though. So.
Right. It was Biodome just ruined our day of filming.
Waterworld.
Oh no.
Ruined our day of filming.
Attack of the Clones has ruined. You imagine like CGI, like the guy in the Jar Jar head puppet thing is like walking around on your set. It's like, dude, leave. He's like, I'm supposed to be here.
Like he just knocks over everything because he can't actually see where he's going.
Yeah, he's got that weird head thing on. Which, by the way, the guy who played Jar Jar Binks had a real like head on his head.
Oh, so that's not CG. That's
they amplified it with CG. They amplified the head with CG, but like for point of reference, they had a real Jar Jar crap head on his head.
Worst character in cinema? Is it him?
Easily, by far.
Yeah, I'm hard pressed to actually think of anybody else.
I could, like if you ask me most annoying person in film, I'd have to. It's Jar Jar. There's no other contender.
Easily not close.
Yeah, there's nobody I can think of anyway, like who's more annoying than Jar Jar Binks. It's
like
just,
even vaguely annoying characters in bad movies, like really bad movies, like The Room, a movie that's so bad it's good.
If Jar Jar was in that movie, it would be not even funny bad. It'd just be unwatchable.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Watching Jar Jar makes me want to punch myself in the face.
It doesn't make me feel good.
You're listening to AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. This has been Two Millennials Talk. I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
And we'll see you all next week.
Don't be Hitler.